Hello, this is Killican, and having spent most of my years of employment either working for federal or local government, I have a deep appreciation for government employees. Whether it's the military, secretaries, mailmen, or even school janitors, they work hard to keep this enterprise we call civilization going. And even with their general self-serving incompetence, I suppose I should at least tip my hat to politicians too. Except, of course, for feminists. They consider that a sexist insult. And whether we agree with them or not, they do seem to put up with a lot of complaining, which I'll admit I'm as guilty of as the next YouTuber. A recent news story harkens me back to an episode of the comedy show Parks and Recreation, in which a random citizen approaches Ron Swanson, head of the Parks Department, with the following complaint. There's a sign at the park that says, "Do not drink the sprinkler water," so I made some tea with it, and now I have an infection. Such stupidity explains Ron's misanthropic tendencies and disdain for government. But alas, the difference between comedy and tragedy is timing. This past week, President Trump has been getting more media flack than usual, on account of an elderly couple who, terrified by the recent hysterics over coronavirus, made the fatal error of mixing a spoonful of fish tank cleaner into a drink and swallowing it. On account of the primary ingredient, hydroxychloroquine, which Trump had previously announced that scientists have found that it can be used to treat corona. The media, of course, failed to point out that Trump specifically said it was being experimented with, and never did he ever endorse or encourage the consumption of any chemical detergent. Sadly, the husband died, and the wife was hospitalized, but rather than respecting this as the tragedy it is, the media has turned it into another Trump derangement circus, placing any and all blame for this tragedy squarely on President Trump's shoulders. Now, I'm not a doctor, or a chemist, or a toxicologist, or anything like that, but I'm fairly certain that my own grip on reality is strong enough to definitively say that any cleaning chemical intended for scrubbing algae and fish urine off of glass is not something that should be ingested by humans. I'd expect this mistake from Dennis the Menace, not two adults. I get that when people get scared, they tend to lose their wits and do foolish things. But if anything, this should be a cautionary tale of how putting fear before logic and reason can be deadly. Not some blame Trump extravaganza. You know all those cheesy Hollywood disaster movies where there's always some news anchor or politician on TV telling everyone to please stay calm just as shit goes to hell? Classic element of comic relief as though it may be, it's right. Panicking is never a good idea in any disaster, whether it's a massive tornado, a physically impossible volcano, or a new virus courtesy of our Pooh Bear-hating comrades of the Far East. All we accomplish by submitting to hysteria is people getting hurt. Yes, we have a nasty illness on our hands, and yes, it's a problem, but we can and will endure, and in the immortal words of President FDR, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And he'd know because he survived one pretty darn nasty illness. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and share, don't forget to subscribe, and peace out.